Ladies and gentlemen, Raider Nation, buckle up because if you thought Monday Night Football couldn't get any more heart-stopping, Week 9 delivered a gut punch that still has us all replaying it in our heads. Imagine this, the clock's ticking down in overtime, your Las Vegas Raiders are 1 point away from stealing a victory on the road against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and everything's aligned for glory. But in the blink of an eye, or should I say, the flick of a wrist, that dream slips away on a 2-point conversion that's got the whole league buzzing. What if that pass had hit pay dirt? Would we be celebrating a massive upset right now, or was this just another chapter in the Raiders' roller coaster saga? Stick with me, folks, because we're diving deep into this thriller, breaking it down play by play, and uncovering why this loss isn't the end, it's fuel for the fire. Let's set the stage for what unfolded in Jacksonville. The Raiders, sitting at 4-4 heading into this matchup, knew they needed a statement win to keep pace in the brutal AFC West. Remember, this division is a bloodbath. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs lurking like sharks, Justin Herbert's Chargers always one big arm away from chaos, and don't get me started on the Broncos' sneaky defense. But the Jags, they're no slouches either, with Trevor Lawrence slinging it like it's his birthright and that secondary swarming like angry hornets. From the opening kickoff, it was a slugfest. The Raiders' ground game, led by the thunderous Zamir White, that man's got legs like tree trunks, churning out 112 yards on 22 carries, kept the chains moving. And oh, the defense. Maxx Crosby, our edge-rushing beast, sacked Lawrence twice, his beard practically growling as he disrupted plays. But turnovers and a couple of field goals from the Jags kept it tied at 20 heading into the extra frame. Overtime hits, and it's pure drama. The Jags defer, putting the ball in Antonio Pierce's hands, our head coach who's got that old-school fire, channeling the spirit of the Madden era without the video game cheats. The Raiders march downfield methodically, a 15-yard dart to Jacoby Myers on a slant, a screen to Devin Singletary that picks up 8, and then, boom, Zamir White barrels in from 5 yards out for the touchdown. The crowd in Jacksonville goes silent. Allegiant Stadium back home is exploding through our TVs. Score, Raiders 26, Jags 26. No extra point, folks. Pierce, with that steely gaze we've come to love, elects to go for 2. Win it here, or risk letting Lawrence cook. It's aggressive, it's Raiders football. High risk, high reward, just like the silver and black have played it since Al Davis screamed, "Just win, baby," from the sidelines. Now, here's where the controversy erupts like a bad blindside hit. Aidan O'Connell, our young gunslinger stepping up big in place of the injured starter. Kid's got ice in his veins, but man, does he remind you of Derek Carr in his early days, all heart and a hair trigger release, drops back in the shotgun. The design. A beautiful mesh concept. Flood the end zone with options, force the defense to choose. Trey Tucker, our speed demon rookie who's been flashing that deep threat potential all season, runs a subtle pivot route to the flat, dragging a linebacker with him. Meanwhile, Davante Adams, All-Pro, future Hall of Famer, the guy who turns contested catches into poetry, breaks off what looks like a corner post, settling wide open in the back of the end zone. O'Connell spots him, winds up, and fires. But wait, Jags defensive tackle Devon Hamilton, all 6 feet 5 inches and 320 pounds of chaos, bull rushes through and gets a paw on the ball. Incomplete. Turnover on downs. Jaguars ball. They kneel it out. Final, Jaguars 27, Raiders 26. 1. Stinking point. What an unbelievable sequence. One that's got Raider Nation divided faster than a ref's call on a helmet-to-helmet. Was it O'Connell's fault? The kid's thrown for 2,100 yards this season, 14 touchdowns. But yeah, that one's gonna haunt him. He had Adams draped in silver and black glory, waving for it like a matador with a red cape. But let's pump the brakes before we crown anyone the villain. I caught up with former Raiders offensive lineman Marshall Newhouse. You know him, the guy who blocked for some of the best runs in Oakland's final days, on the Just Win podcast, and his breakdown? Gold. I didn't mind the play call at all, Newhouse said, his voice steady like he's still in the huddle. It's what it is in that spot. Go for the jugular. Aidan had maybe 2 options, but he definitely had one wide open. Rewatch it. Trey Tucker's pivot pulls the zone defender flat, opening the lane. Davante breaks it off clean. I'm not even sure if that was the full route tree, cause you see Aidan double clutch. Could be they weren't synced up. Adams just joined us midweek after that trade buzz died down. Or maybe he hesitated on the underneath backer, wondering if he could thread the needle. Either way, I don't blame the kid entirely. Protection held. Give credit to Colton Miller and the O-line for that stone wall. It's football. Sometimes the gods of the gridiron flip you the bird. Newhouse nails it, doesn't he? That double clutch, it's the tell. O'Connell, at 26 now, is still growing into the pocket presence that legends like Rich Gannon had back in our Super Bowl 37 glory days. Remember that? January 2003, against the Panthers, Gannon dissecting secondaries like a surgeon, Marcus Allen rumbling for those vintage yards. This play echoes those high-stakes moments, but with a twist of modern agony. And let's talk tactics. Pierce's call was pure genius on paper. In the NFL this year, two-point tries are converting at 48%, but in overtime, it's do-or-die roulette. Statistically, the Raiders' red zone offense ranks 12th league-wide, thanks to Adams' 85% catch rate on targets inside the 20. But against Jacksonville's front four, guys like Josh Hines-Allen who eat quarterbacks for breakfast, the window was razor-thin. If that pass zips over the linebacker's head, touchdown. Victory. Maybe even a wild card spark. Zoom out, Raider faithful, and let's put this in the grand tapestry of silver and black history. The Raiders have lived for these gut checks since their Oakland roots in 1960. Those wild AFL days under John Rauch, scrapping with the Chiefs in the Ice Bowl freeze fests that still give me chills. The move to LA in '82. Controversy city, but it birthed icons like Howie Long, sacking QBs with that pirate glare. Then Vegas in 2020, Allegiant Stadium rising like a black hole beacon, sucking in souls and spitting out legends. We've had our shares of OT heartbreaks, that 2016 playoff loss to Houston, Derek Carr's ankle snapping like a twig. Or Super Bowl 18, when Marcus Allen's 191-yard masterpiece wasn't enough against Washington's juggernaut. But here's the stat that fires me up. Since 2018, the Raiders are 5-3 in games decided by 3 points or less. Resilient? You bet. This loss drops us to 4-5, but with 8 games left, we're right in the AFC mix. Chiefs up by 2, Chargers stumbling at 5-3. Comparative? Last year's 8-9 squad clawed to the playoffs on grit alone. This year's defense, anchored by Crosby's 9.5 sacks, tied for third in the league, and Christian Wilkins' interior havoc, is allowing just 18.7 points per game. Offensively, if O'Connell cleans up those red zone dinks, his completion percentage dips to 62% there. We're averaging 28 a pop. And the injuries? Brutal, but that's the Raider way. Adversity breeds legends. Brock Bowers, our tight end phenom out of LSU, nursed a hamstring tweak but returned to snag 7 balls for 92 yards. Imagine him full throttle with Adams? Unstoppable. Fictional sideline chat here, but if I were mic'd up with Pierce post-game, "Look, that hurt like hell," he'd growl, sleeves rolled up, eyes like daggers. But Aidan's our guy, he's got that fire. We'll watch the tape, adjust, and come out swinging next week. Raider Nation, this ain't over. Folks, losses like this, they're the spice that makes victories taste like championship champagne. Raider Nation, from the ghosts of Oakland's Coliseum to the neon glow of Vegas, we've endured trades, relocations, and enough plot twists to fill a Hollywood script. Think Moneyball meets The Town, with a pirate ship thrown in. So lace up, fire up those grills, and tune in Sunday as we hunt the Broncos. Watch on CBS, stream on Paramount Plus, or catch the highlights right here on our channel. Just win, baby, because when the Raiders roar back, the whole league listens. I'm your host, channeling the spirit of the autumn wind, signing off. Up the Raiders!